biggest keys to success in fantasy rugby isn't just picking the big names and the big stars. It's about finding those hidden gems that deliver big points without blowing your budget. In today's video, we're diving into the Superbru player pool for the Gallagher PREM to uncover the best value picks in the lower price brackets. I'll be highlighting 12 players who can punch well above their weight, giving you the edge you need to climb the leaderboards. So let's get into it. Ben Redshaw is first in my list this year. On the move this summer from Newcastle to Gloucester, the exciting outside back who can play both on the wing and fullback will be looking to make a first-time impact at the Cherry and Whites this season. The elusive runner has impressed with some dynamite performances at England under-20 level, but was used sparingly by Newcastle last season, making 6 Prem starts last season, but still getting 2 tries in those appearances. At just 4 million, he's worth a gamble from the off. While Lucio Cinti is currently away and impressing with Argentina at the Rugby Championship, when he returns, if selected in the Saracens starting 15, he'll be an absolute bargain at £3 million. Cinti is highly versatile, having played in every position from 11 to 15 over the course of his career, and in a positional group that lacks real fantasy depth in the centres, he could be an excellent differential call that allows you to spend big bucks elsewhere. Fly half is a position that's filled with really expensive players, so when you find a regularly starting fly half available for just £3 million, you've got to take it. Boeta Chamberlain won't be putting up massive points like Marcus Smith or Finn Russell every week, although he does have a very decent try scoring record, but as a safe bench stash in case of injury to your first choice fantasy fly half, he's an excellent option. Next up is Amanaki Mafi. So he may be 35 now, but he's been an explosive fantasy talent throughout his career. Nobody who played the Rugby magazine Super Rugby fantasy game will ever forget the fantasy impact that he always made when playing. While he's starting for Newcastle, he's a bargain at 3.5 million. You can expect ferocious carries, a trail of defenders beating behind him, and plenty of tries from the powerful number 8. He's huge value at that price. Ben Loader returned to the Prem after 2 years away in South Africa at the Stormers. In his time at the Stormers, he made 18 starts and scored 8 tries and was a very, very solid performer. He should move straight into the Gloucester first team, and at just £4 million, he's great value for an experienced performer with an excellent try scoring record at this level. Another new signing that's gone quietly under the radar but could have a big fantasy impact is the signing of Jack Mann, who comes to Gloucester from Glasgow. A big, hard-carrying number 8, Mann will be looking over to take over from the departing Ruan Ackerman. Mann averaged 10.8 points per game last season in the Superbru in the URC, and he should only kick on further this season and force himself into selection consideration for the Scotland international squad. At 3.5 million, he's amazing value. The second Argentina international on this list, Santiago Grondona, made an immediate impact on his arrival at Bristol last season with 2 tries on his debut. An outstanding back row option, both in attack and defence, Grondona will be one of the main men in the Bears squad this season, and he's been priced well at just 4.5 million. Gabriel Hamer-Webb is returning to the Prem this season, joining the Leicester Tigers after 2 years in the URC. Last year at Cardiff, he was in fine form, scoring 8 tries in 12 URC starts and scoring 175.5 Superbru fantasy points over the course of the season. If he can come in and make an impact similar to that of Adam Radwan, then he won't be staying at 4 million for very long. Another old fantasy favourite returning to the Prem this season is Fergus Lee-Warner. He's in the game as a second row, but likely to frequently line up in the Newcastle back row. He's super cheap at just 2 million and is a great value option in a position that tends to score quite low in Superbru. Returning to Newcastle this season is George McGuigan. Available for just £2 million, McGuigan is likely to be Newcastle's first choice hooker following the departure of Jamie Blamire. McGuigan has an excellent try-scoring history at Newcastle, in particular a memorable 21-22 season where he scored a huge 18 tries across all competitions in one season. He's already got 1 try to his name in a cup on his return debut, and he should prove to be great value over the course of the season. Finally, we have Tarek Haffar, a prop available for just £1 million. Haffar made the move across the Midlands this summer from Northampton to Leicester, and there is a lot of excitement around this young talent. A quality all-round player, Haffar was an excellent performer in Superbru last season and had the second highest average fantasy score per match across all props in the game, with 8.9 points on average per game, behind only Thomas du Toit. At that price, he's truly a must pick. And that wraps up my list of value picks for the Gallagher Prem this season. These are not the kind of players who might grab all the headlines, but they'll stretch your budget further and give you that extra edge in fantasy rugby this season. If you want to know more and get some more in-depth tips and see my weekly picks, then make sure you head on over to fantasyrugbygeek.com. Also, if you're looking for even more of an edge, then please consider subscribing to my members site at buymeacoffee.com. There you'll see the exact fantasy team that I'm playing with week in, week out across all competitions. You'll be able to DM me with your teams for me to rate them. I'll be able to help you with your start-sit quandaries. And like I did for quite a few teams last season, if your team is performing horrendously, then I can help provide a bit of fantasy team surgery to get your season back on track. To find out more, there's a link in my description. If you enjoyed this, then make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more fantasy rugby content, and let me know in the comments which value picks you spotted. I always love hearing from you guys. So thanks for watching. Good luck with your Premiership fantasy squads this season, and see you in the next video.